Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the eighth season of Q's on the Move, a podcast designed to tell the story of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated and the Second District specifically, and our Fatherhood and Mentoring Committee. Tonight, I have three phenomenal guests that are going to highlight the importance of the military and mentorship. And so, Darius, what I'd like to do, I'd like to just do a quick introduction and a hello, and then I'll jump into my first guest. But my first guest, I'd like to just say hello, and then I'll move to the next. Is Brother Amir Shareef. Brother Shareef is our 39th district representative. Good evening, Brother Shareef.
Brother Chair, great evening to you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be a part of our podcast tonight. Our next guest is the chief of the ROTC program at Orange High School. Sir, good evening, and how are you?
Good, Mr. Stevens. Thank you for having us tonight.
Great, great, great. And lastly, but not leastly, what the podcast with Omega Psi Phi fraternity and particularly the mentoring committee is really all about is about young people getting their life together and making things happen. So, young man, would you please say hello to everyone?
Good morning, everyone. As you were, good evening, everyone. As you can tell, I'm very nervous, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, you're amongst friends, so don't have nothing to be worried about. Great.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to kick back to Brother Dr. Shareef. Brother Dr. Shareef, one of the tenets of the fraternity and one of our newest mandated programs is mentoring and fatherhood. It's fatherhood and mentoring. Could you tell us a little bit, why do you think that that's an important role for the fraternity to play?
Well, first, Brother Chair, again, I am excited to be here. And I just want to say to all those that are in attendance, I hand selected Brother Chair Matt Stevens because of his excellence and because of his contribution to this fatherhood and mentoring program. We had a phenomenal chair previously, Brother Donald Williams, and I couldn't think of a better successor. And so to answer your question, Brother Chair Stevens, fatherhood and mentoring is extremely important to us because not only just because of the fact that it is a nationally mandated program, but because men and fatherhood and mentoring are ever important in society right now. It's a critical requirement that we reach out and we engage and we mentor and we shape and mold young people, not just young men, because that is where our primary focus is, but also young ladies, because we know that when fathers are involved in lives, it takes us to the next level and it helps. And when we can bring in this energy, because in times there are households that are bereft of a father figure. And so if we can bring in our Omega brilliance, when we lean into our cardinal principles of manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift, and when we really put our arms around that uplift principle, then it just folds in very nicely as it pertains to fatherhood and mentoring. This is something that we're extremely passionate about because we know that if we Omega men lean into uplifting our community, and when we really get to these young people, it gives us a phenomenal opportunity to help shape and change the world.
Absolutely. Well, Brother Shareef, one of the things that from the first time that I met you, I had heard you speak, and I said to myself, this brother is going to be the Grand Basileus one of these days. Just based upon your energy is always on high, as well as your structure. Your structure was something that struck me right off the front, and I assumed that structure was based upon your engagement with the military. Could you tell us a little bit about your experience with the military and how it's helped to shape your leadership skills?
Yeah, absolutely. So I did go to that university in Annapolis, Maryland, known as the United States Naval Academy. And prior to me going to the United States Naval Academy, I actually enlisted in MEPS, which is the Military Processing Service, right? And then ultimately stationed. And then ultimately, they told me, hey, you have really great leadership qualities. You don't necessarily have all the grades, got to get your SAT scores up. So I went to the Naval Academy Preparatory School, NAPS, in Newport, Rhode Island. From there, I was ever excited about the opportunity to go to the United States Naval Academy. And we call the United States Naval Academy the Leadership Laboratory. From there, I was able to travel the globe leading people. That is something that I've had the phenomenal opportunity to do, whether it was hundreds or thousands, being an executive officer and being able to really see what it means to impact people. So going through that, my trade, my craft, or my discipline was I was an intelligence officer. One of the things that we did was we were professional briefers, whether that meant briefing the Secretary of Defense, the vice president. You always had to be prepared and be on the cutting edge. And so that was really built into us through that discipline going to the Naval Academy. Waking up at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning is just another easy day. I served a substantial amount of time in the Naval Special Warfare community as well. And so that was something that really taught us that the only easy day was yesterday. And so we always push the envelope. We're always prepared, always ready to do what's necessary, because when you live at the tip of the spear, you have to, in fact, be those change agents. And what I can tell you, Brother Stevens, is that what we do in fatherhood and mentoring is being at the tip of the spear. And when I see young people and I tell them about the opportunities that exist because of the military and how it changed my life. And so I'm very appreciative of that. And it did bring that structure, did bring that organization, and it really did bring that level of preparation, because, you know, in order to be prepared, you have to be thinking about the problem on the front end. So to you, my brother, I thank you for observing those talents in me. But really, I can say it's been embraced and pulled out of me because of this experience with the military.
Great. Last question before we move it to the next guest is, we are really pushing for ROTC as a structure that high schools can use to help get young people prepared. You'll be meeting the commander as well as a young man that is doing well in the ROTC. What are your thoughts as it relates to ROTC in preparation for young people?
Well, I can tell you, Brother Stevens, that I wish that I had the ROTC opportunity when I was in high school, because when I see young people, and I can't wait to hear from Simeon just to see how dynamic this young man has been and the things that he's done, the scholarships that he's taken down, and that structure that's been put in place. So what I can tell you is that if there is, in fact, an opportunity to be able to pursue a JROTC program, an ROTC program, if your high schools have that opportunity, lean into that, at least investigate it, because those things that it can put into you, that discipline, that structure, that leadership, that responsibility, I'm telling you, it absolutely changes the world, and it changes a person. So when people talk about our young people don't do this, our young people don't do that, give them the exposure, give them the opportunity to lead. And JROTC and ROTC is, in fact, an absolutely great program that can provide those opportunities. And if they do those things, I think that we have the opportunity to shape young people in a way that we haven't seen in quite some time. So obviously I'm biased, but I love the fact, I can't wait to hear from this young, outstanding scholar and the phenomenal things that he's done in the JROTC program.
Got you. All right. Well, no better way to transition to the gentleman that is actually running the program. His program is doing phenomenal work. He's one of the single programs in the Essex County area. But before I tell their story, I'm gonna introduce him and let him tell his story. So, Chief, how you doing tonight, Commander?
Got me fired up. I mean, that's very exciting just to hear the excitement and hearing from somebody from the Naval Academy. Thank you so much for inspiring us, because I'm sitting here inspired. Yeah, I started the program at Orange High School in 2017. I enlisted in the military in 1991. I joined the Marine Corps. I became a machine gunner. I started off in the infantry in the Marine Corps. I spent 4 years. I traveled to 30 countries. I left the military. I became a police officer for 3 years, and then I joined the military again. I joined the Coast Guard, became a public affairs specialist, and I retired with 20 years of service. And working at Orange High School has been an absolute blessing to me. So can't put it into words what it means to have the opportunity to be an instructor, a leader, and a mentor. And yeah, I'm excited just to see the names of all the cadets here that are signing in and supporting Simeon and supporting you and supporting such a great program. But being an instructor at Orange High School, to me, sometimes I got to just be surprised they're actually paying me to do it, because what a joy to actually have the opportunity to be part of their lives. And one thing about the ROTC program at Orange High School is that it works together. Cadets take care of each other every day. They eat lunch together. They're there late after school together. And they work together to make sure that the program works. It's not about the individual. It's about collectively everybody arriving together. And I think Simeon's just a great example of that happening, about what happens when people pull together and make sure that goals are reached, individual goals and common goals are reached together as a unit and as a family, and to see what great things can be achieved.
Great. I know from working with the Orange School District for a year before I moved on to the East Orange Family Success Center. I worked with your superintendent of schools, Dr. Fitzhugh, and at that time, his logo was going from good to great. And I can't imagine any other program in the Orange Public Schools that is exhibiting the greatness of the young people other than what you're doing with the ROTC. I always see you out there with the community service and the young people are a shining example. What are you most excited about as it relates to mentoring these young people?
There's so many things. This May, I get to go to the University of Maine. And yeah, I've been in the military, I think 33 years now, show my age. But I get to go to the University of Maine and I get to meet a young man who was my cadet. And I get to stand in front of him and I get to salute him and say, "Congratulations, you're now a military officer, sir." And he's my officer now, and I'm a chief. And he was one of my students. So I get to see him and I'm invited to be there at his graduation to render his first salute. When the cadets graduate from Orange High School, they're still connected. So many of them are still mentoring students that we have now. They're still connected. And it's a program that just doesn't end. It just continues. I'm very proud of just the relationships that are built and the way that cadets are, they're called to help each other. It's not just a high school program. It's not just a in-school program. It's an after-school program. It's a weekend program. It's a summer program. And it's a program that help each other to get through the things that they need to get through.
Great. Well, what a better way to transition into why we're all here tonight, to speak to this young man that is doing phenomenal work. And so you know him better than us. Could you introduce this young man?
Simeon Bryan, he's our Master Chief. And his job for our unit as the Master Chief is to take care of your people. And that's how we define leadership in ROTC. We're always asking the question, what is a leader? A leader is take care of your people. Simeon is one of our seniors. And since I've known him, what he does very well is he takes care of his people. And I'm honored to be one of those people. He does a very good job taking care of me as well.
Great.
He's looked up to as a role model. He's looked up to as a friend, and he's always there. He's there before school starts, and he's there late when it ends. And it's there's not a day that doesn't go by since I've known him where he's not actively reaching out and making someone's life better.
Well, young man, thank you so much for all that you're doing and that you're going to be doing in the near future. Wanted to jump a little bit into what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you born and raised in the city of Orange?
No, sir. I was born in Liberia, is a country in Africa, and I moved here to Orange, New Jersey in 2021 in June, and I've been here since. And it's been an amazing experience, just like transitioning from Africa to America. It's got its privileges.
Great. So what do you like about the ROTC? Why did you join the ROTC?
So, well, honestly, the first reason I joined the ROTC was because of the future opportunities that we get to go on. One in particular, thanks to the principal, Mr. Belton, and the Board of Education, we were able to go to Virginia in May of last year, and we got on the train down to Virginia to Norfolk, and we got on the USS Baton, and we sailed all the way to New York City for Fleet Week. And that was an amazing experience. We spent about 3 days on the ship, and that brought us closer as a unit. And just like being in the berthing, I'm pretty sure that anyone that's been in the military, they can tell you about like a life on the ship. And it was just an amazing experience. Just the food was amazing. I especially loved the brisket. It was amazing. That's the experience we get to have together as a family. Like as Chief said, like we hold each other accountable for each thing we do.
Oh, that's phenomenal, man. Everybody's smiling because we remember that brisket. for sure. So you're a senior in high school right now. The chief let me know something. The commander let me know something that was extremely interesting. He said that you got quite a bit of money in scholarships. Tell us a little bit about your success in areas of getting scholarships, and where do you think you want to go to college?
So let's start. I want to start with the last question. To go to college, I'm thinking about NJIT to study computer science and be a software engineer. And for the scholarships, I was told about a website by a cadet of mine. She is currently the lieutenant commander, as you were. She is currently the operations officer. She told me about the website, and I vetted the website. I went and did some research, and through like everything I've learned from the website, I was able to put in my GPA and everything that was needed. And we, as an entire class, we were able to get a lot of colleges reaching out to us because of our GPAs, because of the amount of community service we've done, because of everything that we've learned through the program, through the lesson of taking care of people, of taking care of each other, and through three words: honor, courage, and commitment. Those three words are what we are taught every single day. We are graded on those words, and you have to hold those words and make yourself accountable for them. Every single thing you do as a leader, you don't blame other people for anything that happens. You take the responsibility because you're leading the person. So with the entire scholarship, now I'm going up to being a leader, but with the entire scholarship thing, it was a website called Niche, and it was amazing. It just helped us like get the numbers we have right now. And in total, as a class, we have about $13 million in scholarship.
Say that again.
As a total number for our class of 17 cadets, senior cadets, we have 13,000, as you were, $13 million in scholarship.
Can we just give that? Can we give that a round of applause for sure? Man, that is some phenomenal work. I'm gonna circle right back to you, but this gives me a great opportunity to shoot right back. Darius, can we get everybody on at once? So Brother Shareef, this is amazing news. As I may tell, your thoughts, what you've heard so far, sir.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm like awe-inspired by what I've heard this evening. So first of all, Chief, thank you for your service. And to all the cadets that are in the room and all of those that are in the audience, and I see he's brought a bit of a fan club, you know, I don't even have to know Chief, but when he talks about his resume from serving in the Marine Corps as well as the United States Coast Guard, it goes without saying that this gentleman is a class act. And so for you, Simeon, for you all to be able to interact with a commander of his ilk, I mean, that's just world class. So again, Chief, thank you for your service and kudos to you. And to you, Simeon, I mean, wow, I am over here absolutely awestruck at your professionalism, at your understanding of leadership. If you choose to make it a career in the military, to serve in the officer corps or in the enlisted side, whatever it is you choose to do, whatever institution, whatever profession, whether it's, you know, it's law, it's medical, it's engineering, it's computer science, if it's in the military or outside the military, any organization would be blessed to have someone like you who understands those core values of honor, courage, commitment, who understands that leaders move, motivate, and inspire. And I can tell you, you are in fact a leader. You have inspired me this evening. You've even taught me something about websites where I can tell young people where to go and get scholarships. So I thank both of you. Simeon, thank you for being a leader, a young scholar, and a change agent, because for those that denigrate this young class, I'm not for sure what you all, Generation Z or some other generation, whatever generation you are, everyone should be proud to know that they know a young man like you. So I salute you. I thank you for your service. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Commander, one of the things we talked about earlier, which I didn't mention, and Brother Shareef would attest to this as well, one of our strongest commitments and our cardinal principles is uplift. And you mentioned earlier when we got on the line that one of your cadets is in need of uplift. and you have a campaign that you've put out that we're going to try to help you with tonight. Could you just give us a description of what happened and how can we help?
Yes, sir. There was one of our cadets whose home burnt down this week. So we created a GoFundMe page so that we can help the family get back on their feet. The link, I believe, is in the chat. And we're hoping to raise some donations so that we can help the family get through this extremely difficult time.
Great, great. So Simeon, this is one of your classmates. And I'm sure that you're playing an active role in helping to get these type of things done. How do you think the ROTC program has created a group of young people like yourself to care and then actually do something, which in our fraternity we call uplift? You young people are providing the uplift. How do you think ROTC has prepared you and helped you to become the young people that you are?
I believe that through the examples that we have, that we see in Chief, in Senior, because we have a new instructor, the leadership qualities we see within them, we aspire to look up to them. We aspire to be better, to be like them, to be better than them, to transcend, and like just them taking care of us each single day is phenomenal, is amazing, and we try to do that ourselves. So every single time a class, like one person in the class falls short of a grade, we get graded as an entire class. One person grade is the entire class's grade. That is how we learn leadership. We learn to take responsibility of each other's actions. We hold each other accountable, and just focusing on that helps us to, like, feel empathy for someone. Empathy, sympathy. You can feel that for someone because it's like a family.
Wow, that is great. Brother Shareef, in the work that you're doing in all of the various committees, you have the mentoring program, you have the health and wellness, you have the STEM, you have voters registration, all of the various things that you have going on, that we have going on in the fraternity. Does this type of activity that's going on with these young people, does this excite you about what's to come for this generation that we're preparing for?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said earlier, oftentimes millennials and Gen Zers, they get this overarching sentiment, this stereotype that they're lazy, that they don't have the capability to go out of themselves and continue to make our world great. They always talk about the greatest generation, those who served in, wars from previous times. But when I look at young people like Simeon, and I look at the leadership that Chief Sperduto is providing to these young people, I am ever encouraged that our future is going to be in great hands. Because when it's amazing. Simeon, how old are you, young man? How old are you?
I'm 19, sir.
Okay, when I hear a 19-year-old talk about taking responsibility, extreme ownership, not blaming others, leading, understanding, honor, courage, commitment, having integrity, building friendships, comradeship, taking into consideration that, like, on the strength of one link in the chain and the one link in the cable, dependent the might of the chain, who knowest when thou mayest be tested, so live that thou bearest the strain. He understands that. He understands that the lowest grade, right, is the grade of everyone. I am so encouraged. I am motivated. And this is why fatherhood and mentoring is so critically important, because that's a part of what the JROTC program does. It teaches comradeship. It teaches friendship. It teaches leadership, but it also teaches that importance of the things that they need to be able to take these impactful relationships into the future. So again, to your point, this is one of my most favorite committees. This is why I have one of my best leaders in you, Brother Stevens, leading it. And this is why I have great confidence for the future. No matter what the world throws at these young people, they are dynamic, they are different, and they know how to still do that which is most important and most difficult of attainment, which is leadership. And I thank you again, Simeon, for everything that you do. And again, Chief, for you leading these young people. I'm ever humbled to be in your presence.
No, thank you, sir. It's a privilege. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Well, Commander, in that regard, shortly we'll be saying goodbye to Simeon, and he'll be moving on. We're going to stay in contact with him, but there's a young Simeon coming up from the Orange Middle School as we speak. How can parents get their kids into the ROTC program? What is the procedure to get into the ROTC program?
There's a selection process for ROTC, which is challenging, and it gets more challenging every year. Last year we took 60 new freshmen, and we had 173 students that wanted to be in the program. So it is a challenge to figure out how we're going to be doing recruiting to be able to make the program grow. But we are fortunate enough now that we hired another instructor. We've been certified by the Navy as a full-fledged NJROTC program. This is our first year under that umbrella. So the program is growing and it's getting bigger. I would suggest that parents get involved early. We have a lot of cadets that are always looking to mentor early. Matter of fact, we have some cadets I'm looking at online right now. Our community service officer is involved in doing a Read Across America program over at the elementary schools. There's always opportunities for community service, and ROTC it's not just at the high school. It's a lot of cadets want to be able to get out to the elementary schools and start mentoring them. There was one year, one of the first years at Orange, where the cadets created a program called Operation Thank a Hero, where they made little children heroes for the day, and they gave them awards. They got grant money, and they got bouncy houses and popcorn machines. And for one day, they took all the youth from Orange and they made them heroes for the day. They were teaching them how to do military drill. They were putting through fun exercises, and all day long, they just kept telling the children how they were heroes. Today, a lot of those same heroes are now cadets. So it's, the program grows. We're trying to do more with the little brothers and sisters in the program. Last year, the ROTC cadets got Christmas gifts for every sibling in the program. Every single one of them got a wrapped Christmas gift from the program, which was pretty amazing.
Great. Well, Simeon, I could tell the three men here can look up to you as a hero. How do you feel working with the young people? And what is one of the programs that you enjoyed the most? The commander spoke about a number of them. What's a program that you've enjoyed the most working with since you've been there?
It has been an honor, getting to be the Master Chief of these amazing cadets. Without them, I don't have a position. So without them, I have no one to take care of. So they're basically my job, and I love that job. I feel honored just to be in their presence. And a part of the program that I really love is the drill, the drill team. That alone is the most important part for me. Just having every single day after school, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, going over to the middle school to do drill, and bonding even during drill, is a space for bonding. You make a mistake, we make a little fun of you, but we put you up, you got this, you can do this. And that, just watching that is amazing, and it makes me feel happy just to be in that space.
Man, that is some great stuff, brother. We're about a minute and a half out from concluding the show tonight. We could talk for a whole hour tonight, but we're going to close out. I'm going to go with you, then the commander, then I'll end with the DR. So, young man, what is your words of wisdom that you would give to a young person following you?
Words of wisdom. I learn new things every single day. I'm still learning things. I am a leader, but I'm also a follower. And a follower is not just someone who just follows whatever a leader says. A follower has their own intuition. So if you feel like you're following someone that's not leading you the right way and is compromising your morality, you should speak up for yourself and be able to tell that person, I respect you, but I cannot continue to be underneath you.
You've been here before, it seems like. That is wisdom that is beyond your age, for sure. Commander, I know you got to be smiling from ear to ear. In the time that we have left, would you just let the folks know again, how can we help the ROTC program? I know we have this situation that we're dealing with the fire, but in addition to that, is there anything else that the public can do to help support the ROTC program?
Well, for Mr. Shareef and yourself, Mr. Stevens, I'd love to have you come in and be guest speakers. Anytime you want to come to Orange High School and speak, we'd love to have you. We have our annual military inspection February 26th, and that's where the Navy comes and inspects us. And it's a big event. Last year we had a full gym. The fire department comes out, supports us. The police department comes out, supports us. Mayor Warren's fantastic, and it's a great opportunity if you want to come out and see our cadets in action. They'll be performing drill and their classes, and you'll be able to see them receive the awards that they're going to get this year. It's a really tremendous event. They honor their parents by giving their moms roses at this event, and it's on February 26th right in the high school gym, and you're welcome to join us.
That will be great. You can count on the Community Q's, the Ada Pi chapter. We're right down the street on South Harrison Street. I'll be speaking to Mr. Devone, who is Brother Devone as well, to ensure that our fraternity comes down there. We were there last week. I believe there was a young men's conference that Mr. Devone helped to put together. We come out every year to support that. This is new news for me, so I will bring this back, and we will be there to support you in every way possible.
Well, look forward to seeing you there.
Great. So in concluding, Brother DR, tonight was a great night. I definitely know you probably have 2 or 3 more meetings to go to after tonight, but I hope this Q's on the Move podcast was inspiring, and it showed you some of the work that we're doing. Would you like to make any final comments about anything? You're on mute, brother.
Count check. Oh, there we go. So again, to Chief, and Simeon, thank you both for your leadership. And I appreciate all that you all do. And so for all of those that are in attendance, especially those for the JROTC side or NROTC. So first of all, taking up this mantle of responsibility is an investment in yourselves. And I thank you for believing in yourselves. I thank you for taking on a responsibility. Simeon, your leadership is absolutely infectious. As I read the commentary, I see, the young people saying, I wouldn't be petty officer first class without you. And so, but I will say this for all of you all that are in there that are appreciative of Simeon's leadership, understand that there is no success without grooming leaders and creating a successor, right? So there is no success without being able to build that bridge for someone to come behind you. We talk about building bridges in Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So what I can tell you is that, again, as what was mentioned before, as I stand here today, communicating to you, and as you all prepare to embark upon your journeys, whatever it is, as you graduate and you matriculate, understand that this organization, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, is here to support you. We look forward to you all to push the limits, to blaze a path, and to challenge those who come into your orbit. Because I'm ever confident that in this time, in this place, in this world, now more than ever, we need more leaders. We need thinking leaders who are malleable, who are adaptable, who are highly critical in thought. And we need each and every single one of you. So I thank you for your commitment. You all have chosen a path of those that is less traveled. And so again, Brother Stevens, on behalf of the entirety of the 2nd District, we are honored, humbled, and privileged to know that you are the leader of this fatherhood and mentoring program, as well as the fact that this Q's on the Move. Again, I'm humbled to be in you all's presence. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Out here.
Great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank everybody for coming out. Our next Q's on the Move will be focusing on mentoring and reclamation. We'll be focusing on helping our brothers who are in the fraternity, who have stepped away, to come back to the fraternity. And this is a prime example of the good work that is being done, that we want to invite all of those brothers back into the fold. to engage. And so stay tuned for next week as we work in that particular area. I want to thank my guests for coming out this evening and wish everyone a blessed night. My last thing that I would say is that we are asking all chapters in Omega Psi Phi fraternity and those specifically in the 2nd District to use the hashtag Omega Mentors to continue to promote the good work that we do. Thank everybody for coming out tonight. God bless and have a great night.
Good night. God bless.
Night.
All right. Darius, we good?